Hello everybody. Today I wanted to show you my little routine of face massage, and I'll be using 2 items only. So the first is a Wise Women Village hydrosol, which I totally recommend you check out. And the second one is my calendula lavender and rose tallow balm. Now it's super simple, and without having to learn any specific techniques, you can really give your face a lot of love and a lot more vibrancy. So I'm just going to go ahead and start, and you can follow along with your own products, your own stuff, or you can just watch and then do your own thing later. So here we go. I'm just going to apply this and not wipe it off. It's so gorgeous. It's an Isle of Rum eucalyptus hydrosol. Then I'm going to use my tallow directly on this mist that is still resting on the surface of the skin. And what this does is it literally traps, or it kind of envelops the moisture from the hydrosol. And hydrosols are amazing because they are so much gentler than using essential oils on your skin daily. Even though I do love essential oils, I try to avoid them, especially in direct contact with my skin on a daily basis. So the essential oil is a part of an extract of the whole plant. However, a lot of the extract is missing from the pure essential oil, which is only the volatile oils of a plant. So it's an interesting dichotomy. The same with infused oils. A whole plant infusion encapsulates actually more of the entire essence of the plant, because it literally extracts from all these other parts that normally are not present in only the volatile oil. Now I've gone on and just applied the tallow to every surface on my skin. And it's almost like a painting, when you were doing art at school, if you went to school, or even just coloring a coloring book, we're all told to not leave any blank space. So as much as I like to challenge that idea, I do apply that same sort of energy to covering every inch, every cell. If we imagine the microscopic layers of the skin. So once that's all applied, I even like to put some around my neck, around, that's just the power of touch. If you start this little practice, you'll find that your hands begin to be drawn to various places on your skin just by themselves, without having a set map or a set structure necessarily. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start to bring a little bit of the awareness into the palms of our hands, into our fingertips. You can rub your hands together, creating a bit of warmth, or you can run your thumbs over the tips of your fingers. This can also hydrate your hands. I know wintertime, especially, which is the season I'm recording this, well, almost winter, can be particularly tough on our hands. So I'm just rubbing my thumbs over the surface of the inside of each finger. And then another lovely technique is to gently blow onto the surface of the palms of the hands and just begin to sense that softer contact of air on skin. And then just go ahead and take a moment. Maybe close your eyes. Notice where your body is resting on the ground or whatever represents that ground for you. You might naturally start to notice your breath, noticing the space in which your body is right now, space around your body, around the back of your body, top of your head, shoulders, jaw, front of the forehead, back of the head where the skull meets, beginnings of the spine. And I'm going to invite you to just let your hands come to rest as they move through space, come to rest on a certain place on your skin, on the skin of your head, wherever that is. It might change from day to day. For me today, front of the forehead here along the hairline is where my hands naturally gravitated. And just imagine your hands to be this soft containment for the energy of your head. So often as we go through our day, our mind, our mental energy is extending outwards into the world. And we're constantly in a process of thought and relationship that requires that mental extension. But it can be really almost, we forget to switch that off. So we can pull ourselves back by creating a little contact, a little container for that mental energy, and just imagining that we are retracting, we're bringing that energy back, because that mental energy is also vital energy. So when we bring that back home into the body, into the rest of the body, we can begin to let it circulate, create the potential for patterns to change where they need to, for tension to dissipate where it needs to. And then bringing your fingertips to a certain point, wherever that point is that they were drawn to. For me right now, it's the area of the jaw. And just starting some circular movements, letting the skin slide over the bones of the skull, the bones of the cranium, creating a little loosening of what we call the fascia, or the connective tissue of the face. Of course, connective tissue is connected to every other part of the body. When we're in a deep, deep practice, sometimes we can even feel, as we move the skin of the face, like right now, I can feel this movement wrapping around the back of the skull, almost down into my shoulder blade. It's incredible. Particularly our faces, since we cycle through so many expressions and it's such a mode of communication for us, our faces can carry a lot of tension and repetitive patterning. So when we begin to loosen physically this connective tissue, it gives the muscles of our face an opportunity to reset and rest a little more deeply. So all we're doing really is we're bringing our awareness through touch, through movement, into these places of our face, the skin of the face. And bringing warmth encouraging blood flow. If any other movements want to happen, go ahead and, of course, let them happen, because that's your system beginning to self-inform about what needs to move. And now I'll let you in on a little secret. In my somatic practice, my teacher introduced me to this little simple nervous system reset called baby cartoon mouth. And baby cartoon mouth, if we imagine a young child watching their favorite cartoon and being in front of the screen and being in a very relaxed yet aware state. So an active receptivity. And sometimes you'll notice the jaw opens, the jaw naturally relaxes and drops a little bit with its own weight. So we're going to recreate that relaxed receptivity, that receptivity to ourselves, to our own touch, to our own unique body wisdom, by letting the jaw, and you might want to give it a little space or like a little yawn to open. And it might seem a little funny to begin with, but beginning to notice as the jaw opens, as the jaw drops, are there any other subtle or not so subtle changes that happen in the rest of your system? What do you notice? For me, I'm noticing my mouth is beginning to salivate, and that deeper breath signaled to me that my system is going into a more relaxed nervous system response, nervous system state. So you can play with that as you massage, as you move the hands over the surface of the skin. And another wonderful prompt, another wonderful invitation is to allow your hands to be like the hands of a sculptor of clay. And imagine that you are sculpting your own face out of a block of clay. A really wonderful framing to look through. Noticing and giving attention, giving some loving care, some tender loving care to every millimeter, every cell of the surface of your skin. Noticing where your body's asking for some deeper pressure, where it feels good to just glide over and smooth the clay. Smooth. And where is asking for maybe a bit more of that traction movement. Imagining that perhaps the surface of your fingertips is a bit sticky. And so it doesn't glide over the skin, but it rather rests. And then the surface of the skin is what glides over the surface beneath it. For me, this move is particularly helpful around the jaw. I don't know if you can see that, but my fingers stay in place. It's a bit harder when you've got tallow balm or an oil on there, but it doesn't have to be perfect. You see, my skin is kind of moving around. While the contact point stays anchored. So, you can always continue with all of these little pieces for as long as you feel, as long as you've got. You can set your timer or play a piece of music, which is always wonderful to really drop in to that intuitive sense. And above all, enjoy and find the pleasure of giving yourself that whatever amount of time you've got. Until next time, sending much love. See you then.